Morning, yogis. How's it going? Nicholas here. Yoga Flow Friday. What? Get yourself set up. We still have a couple more minutes. Yes, a couple more minutes. If you were with me on Monday, focus was a little bit more core work centered, whatnot. So we'll be doing that again. The one thing that I did was some stuff using, if you have, which would be awesome, yoga blocks. But I'm aware that we probably might not have blocks or any type of prop. Doesn't matter. That's fine. I'll give the variation also without on the floor. Just helpful to have something a little elevated off the floor. If that doesn't work, the other option that I gave was a chair. And again, something that's a little bit firmer, so not like a sofa or a couch where you kind of sink in, something that you can kind of press off of and lift off of to kind of hold your hips up. If you have either of those and that just doesn't work for you at all, no worries, we'll still make it work. But welcome, a couple more minutes and we will get going. Good morning, happy Friday. For those joining, welcome. Again, my name is Nicholas. It is Yoga Flow this morning. And if you happen to have yoga blocks, preferably, well, it would be two. That'd be great. If not, no worries. A chair, something with a kind of a firm seat would be helpful too. So one of those that works for you. A mat, water, towel, grab what you need, set yourself up. I try not to get too intricate with the props. But anything that would help around your space that you're in. As we go today, I want to focus a little bit more on core. On Monday, I talked about core and how it's something that you need in yoga. And you can't really do most of the poses without engaging through your core, but with a more focus on it of paying attention of when we're trying to engage, what we're trying to work. That's kind of the idea with the practice today. So Monday I moved a little bit slower, which I typically do on Mondays. Fridays I try to throw in a little bit more. So as we go, remember it's vinyasa, so I'll take us through the flow. If it becomes too much, remember you can always skip vinyasas. You can take a child's pose, you can just sit and breathe, whatever feels best for you. Always feel free to take those options. And I will try to give modifications as much as I can, and ways to help us kind of do as much as we possibly can. So, that being said, it's Friday, let's get started. I'm feeling great Friday, as I'm sure some of you might have heard the new Gaga Ariana song. Obsessed with it. If I could play music, that's what would be playing all of us. But I'm not, and I love the message of it, which has been crazy for me this week because it was a trying week with being quarantined and all that stuff, as we all are, although Arizona's coming out of it. California's still in it. It is that struggle. So one thing I've been kind of focused on myself is just my own physical energy, my mental state. As a yogi, I always try to focus on that, but also where our moods shift. And for me especially, I just felt that whatever was going on this week, it kind of got a little built up. And then I felt bad for feeling bad about it. So one of those things that I'm trying to go with is just, we're human. And if your emotion, if your mood is just, yeah, I'm irritated, I'm frustrated, I want to go do this, this, and that, and we can't. Totally get it. I think go with those thoughts, go with those moods, and from there, as we incorporate the breath, you notice what kind of surfaces in the mind. It's trying to work towards shifting that as best as we can by then resetting our focus. So building up some of that heat from the core, grounding ourselves into our space, on our mat, wherever you are, and that's what we're going to work towards today. So let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and come to a nice, comfortable seated position. That's my spiel for the day. Again, if you need to be on a chair, go on a chair. If you need to lie on your back and just chill and breathe, do that too. When you're ready, if you are seated, hands on your thighs, shoulders soft, heart is lifted, soften your face, go ahead and close your eyes. And just taking a moment. Acknowledge, settle into how you're feeling this Friday morning. And maybe you're just waking up, maybe you're just figuring that out. Or maybe you're watching this at a different time of the day. Maybe it's not the morning for you. So just aware. What's the body saying? What is the mind saying? And one thing I'm personally working on again is just, it's not being upset with what my thoughts are, not being frustrated that I can't be calm and peaceful. It's just, all right. Honor what is going on around you. But with that, not letting it take control, not letting it take charge, begin to bring your focus, your attention back to your breath. And with every exhale, can you release? Can you let go of anything that you feel you're holding on to that's not benefiting you, not bringing you anything positive in your life at this moment? And as you inhale, bring in something new. A little love for yourself, something positive, some strength, some reassurance that it's going to be okay. And then exhale, release, and just keep repeating that. That cycle of building up more positivity, more light, and just trying to let go. What's holding you down. Taking just a couple more rounds here. Fill up into the belly, the chest, the side ribs, the back. As you exhale, releasing all the air. One more round. Taking 3 big breaths together. When you're ready, nice deep inhale. As you exhale, release. 2 more. Deep breath in. And release. 1 more deep breath in. And release. And just see if you can gently press your lips together without gripping your jaw. You just allow your breath to flow comfortably in and out of your nose, but deepen and lengthen the inhales. And match that length with your exhale. And whatever feeling, whatever starts to wash over you, if it's a calm, if it's a settling, maintaining it with that steady ujjayi breath. And your next exhale, take your time, gently lower your chin toward your chest, softly bow your head. And then gently begin to open your eyes, taking in your space. Bringing your head back up to neutral, sitting nice and tall. Good morning. All right. So right away, we're gonna go ahead and bring in some heat. We're gonna go right into our back. So if you happen to have a block, awesome. If not, no worries. So if you do have the block, feel free to place it right between the mid-thigh. Now I've been doing this a couple times. I really like this to stabilize, one, the pelvis, to ground the legs, get some heat in them, and two, to start connecting the core. So as you settle yourself down onto the mat, from here, hugging that block between the thighs, gently soften your shoulders into the mat, take an inhale. As you exhale, gently lift your hips. Now, again, remember the block is just optional. I know I have the block. If you don't worry. It'll work just the same with just feet hips width. You just want to make sure the knees aren't falling in or out, that you have a nice, true parallel stance with your legs. Taking a couple more rounds here. Setting the hips up, extend, and then gently lower. And a couple more, reaching the hips up, and down. And one more round here, exhale to lift. Inhale, lower. And then as you exhale, go ahead and hold those hips up towards the sky. Send that tailbone forward. Soften your shoulders as you inhale. Float your arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, release. And again, inhale, reach. Exhale. Two more. Inhale, reach. Exhale. One more. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Pause for the inhale. Exhale, hips. Let's put all of that together. Hips, arms, arms, hips. Take an inhale. Exhale, send your hips to the sky. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, arms. Inhale, hips. And again, exhale, hips. Inhale, arms. Exhale. Inhale. Two more rounds. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more round here. Exhale. Exhale. And pausing here. Now, send your tailbone forward. Engage into the back of the thighs. And if you don't have a block, feel free to walk your feet a little bit closer together, hugging that block in. Now keeping the pelvis square. As you inhale, send that right leg forward. Now the purpose of the block here is because we don't want to lift the leg too high. Keep the knees level, and then you'll feel that heat into the left leg. You'll start to feel that left glute fire up. Taking one more inhale. Exhale, release your right foot. Inhale, left. And pausing here, keeping that pelvis nice and square. Take one more inhale. And exhale, gently release. And again, send your right leg up. Woo. Breathing through it, take an inhale. Now you should feel a bit of intensity here. That's what we're going for. Ground yourself into your space. Square through the pelvis and a gentle drawing in of that belly. Your next exhale. Gently release down. And then switch side. Last time here. One more inhale. And exhale, gently release. Pause. And rolling yourself down. If you do have a block, awesome. Go ahead and set it off to the side. Take a moment. Go ahead and hug the knees in toward your chest. Now take one hand on each shin. And take a moment here. Just release and open through the hips. Just take little circles here. And take it back the other way. And then when you're ready, no rush, go and bring those knees back to your chest. Now feel free to take a couple rocks and rolls forward and back. If that feels good on your spine, go ahead and take a few of them. Just that little rounding through the back. And once you're ready, go ahead and shift forward. Whew. And go ahead and make your way all the way up into all fours. Bringing your knees right underneath your hips. Go ahead and press those palms into the mat. Now with a little bit more focus on core today, as you draw that belly in, reaching your tailbone back. Draw the shoulders, soften them away from your ears. Tuck all 10 toes. Take an inhale. We're going right for it. As you exhale, begin to lift. Now, a couple things we want to watch for as we lift. You want to make sure, one, that you're not dropping the chin down towards the mat. Two, I know you might be looking up at a screen. Take a glance, and then lengthen the back of the neck. Check the shoulders. We're not hiking them up around the ears. Draw them down. And then one last thing, most important, our core. Do not release through your back. Draw that belly in. Engage nice and strong. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, gently release. Now keep your toes tucked. Keep your toes tucked. And then go ahead and send your hips all the way back into an active child's pose. Whew. Spread those fingers, plant those palms. Let the hips reach back. And on your next inhale, begin to shift forward again. We're going right for it. Plant those palms. Knees under hips. Collarbones broad. Take an inhale. Exhale, hover your knees. Now check, are you holding your breath? Are you gripping your jaw? It tends to happen as we start to get a little bit more intense, as we bring in a little bit more heat. But can you settle into that? And taking that same thought with life, when it gets crazy, stressful, can you breathe? Can you slow things down? Taking one more inhale. As you exhale, gently release your knees. And again, shift the hips back. Feel free to walk the hands forward. Ooh. And one more round here. Our set of 3. Plant your palms. Spread the fingers, knees under hips. All 10 toes tucked. As you exhale, lift. Now check what's floating through that mind. Can you do a little check through the core? Draw that belly in. Hip bones lifted. Can you soften the shoulders away from your ears? 2 more rounds. Exhale. One more. Exhale, gently release. Now go ahead and keep your toes tucked. Walk your hands just a few inches forward. Now wrap the triceps down. Lift the shoulder blades up away from your ears. And think about that. Go ahead and bring your big toes towards each other. Pressing the palms into the mat. Send the inner thighs back. And from here, go ahead and float your right leg up. Now pause. Pressing that right heel back. Draw the belly in. Let your head release. Now soften those shoulders as you wrap those triceps down. Now, from here, I want you to focus on squaring the hip. So, try not to open up that hip wide. Don't dip into that left shoulder. Engage through the core. So, even here, think of that drawing in towards that belly as you press that left heel back. Shoulder blades lifted. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, release your right foot, switching sides. Without letting the shoulders move around, without letting the pelvis go all crazy, draw into that center and send that left leg back. So similar to how we were when we were on our back and we did that lift one leg at a time, it's the same idea. Whenever you're moving one leg separate from the other, we got that asymmetry going on. You want to make sure that you're engaged with the core, that you're stable, so that we can balance. We can move one leg at a time, one arm at a time. As you exhale, gently release. Now feel free to take your feet about hips width again. As you inhale, begin to shift forward. Now that same idea here from your plank pose. As you draw those shoulders away from your ears, draw the belly in, take an inhale. As you exhale, hips up and back. And 2 more, inhale forward. Exhale back. Now 1 more, inhale forward. Now anytime you're in plank, and especially we tend to focus more of it on our forearm plank, but when you're in this plank pose, make sure that those palms are pressing down, that belly's drawing in. And go and take your right foot, hover it off the mat, and pause here. Keeping that lift right where you are. Apologies again. Let me make sure. Okay, good. Gotta make sure that I'm recording from my phone, and I was getting a phone call. I apologize. Take 1 more inhale, and gently release. Pause. Take an inhale, and lift the other leg. I was having a conversation with friends about teaching classes from home. The challenges of it. I was like, but we can't be perfect. This was never planned. We never intended to teach from home. So when stuff happens, you go with it. A dog runs in, you get a phone call, big deal. Take 1 more inhale. and release, or at least that's what the thought I'm trying to go with now. As my frustration kicked in this week. Take a deep inhale. Out your mouth, let it go. And again, anything you're holding on to, anything negative, just let it release. Draw the shoulder blades up as you inhale, shift forward into plank. As you exhale, hips up and back. And 2 more. Inhale forward. Exhale back. And 1 more. Inhale forward, pausing here at the top. Now go ahead and take your knees, bring them down towards the mat. So we're gonna work on our chaturanga push-up. Now, the thing about this, we don't want the elbows to the side. You wanna hug the elbows in, and we wanna lower in one piece. Again, a huge focus of that should be from your core. We always think, it's the arms, it's the arms. It is the arms, because we're bending the elbows. But what happens when we move through vinyasas, as we get tired, we tend to start to move into this worm position. The hips should not hit before the chest. They want to come down about the same time. So you're one long line. So as you broaden, let's go and do 4 push-ups together. Take an inhale. As you exhale, hug and lower. Inhale, lift. Now keeping that core engaged, that spine long as you exhale, lower. And lift. And 2 more. And lift. And 1 more. And lift. Pause. Keep the toes tucked. Shift your hips back. Take a child's pose. Now, can you focus in a little bit more on the core? Again, lifting those hip bones up, reach your tailbone towards your knees. As you inhale, shift forward. Let's take 4 again. If 4 are too many, stick with 1. Do what you can. Inhale, broaden. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. And 3 more. Inhale up. And 2 more. Inhale up. And 1 more. And lift. Drawing your shoulders away from your ears. Take an inhale. And exhale, shifting hips back. Pausing here. Let your head release. Jaw soft, shoulders soft. Inhale. Go ahead and bring yourself forward again. Now this time, let's take it all the way onto the belly with that control. Broaden through the collarbones. Take an inhale. As you exhale, 1 piece. Can you lower down in 1 piece? Whew. Now, if you did happen to roll, it takes practice. It's a lot of strength there. There's a lot of support. So don't be stressed about it if that happened. We're gonna go right into our Sphinx pose. Before we get into those cobras, I want you to go ahead and bring your elbows right underneath your shoulders. Plant your palms down. Now, broaden through your collarbones. Pull your heart forward. It's not about this. Keep the cervical spine long. So even if your gaze is slightly down, that is fine. You wanna lift the heart, not the throat. Drawing in now from here, especially for my flexible friends, can you draw your belly in towards your spine? So as I turn sideways, and for those of us that have a very flexible lower back, so it's easy for me to just push my belly into the mat, and then just overarch my lower back. But you see the difference, my core is not engaged. But when I'm here, and then I engage my core, my belly just lifted off the mat, and I can even pull forward even more. And guess what? My back no longer hurts anymore. It's that overarch through that lower back. So support the core, pause, tuck your toes, take an inhale. As you exhale, here's that forearm plank that we were just talking about. Now, draw the belly in. Send your inner thighs up towards the sky, and then broaden through your collarbones here. Rather than thinking about over rounding and hunching here, can you broaden a little bit more, and then pull the heart forward. Taking 1 more inhale. And then as you exhale, take your time. Gently lower your hips. Did you push your belly right back into the mat? Can you lift the belly up? Stay supported through your center. We're gonna take 1 more round. Take an inhale. Tuck your toes. As you exhale, lift the hips. Now we want hips to be about shoulder height. And again, it just helps. If they hang low, usually it means that our core has disengaged. So you're just relying, over squeeze the glutes or the quads. Yes, the quads are going to engage, but draw the belly in. Hip bones lift. Take 1 more inhale here. And then as you exhale, gently release. Whoo. Soften. And go ahead and release all the way down. Take those hands, go ahead and slide them right next to your ribs. Soften your shoulders. As you exhale, press right back on your knees. Now, I know we've been on those arms for a while here, so let's take a moment. Let's step that right foot forward and take it into the legs. Now, stepping that right foot towards the top of your mat. Hug your right hip back. Broaden. As you inhale, float the arms up. Wrap triceps forward. Draw belly in and up. Soften shoulders from the ears. Take an inhale. Exhale, soften a little bit more. I was working with a friend earlier today, this morning, training, and the issue of those arms falling forward, especially with tight shoulders, just this flexion that we want through the shoulders. Now we want to get those arms right next to the ears as best as we can, but try not to overdo it. You still want to keep this lift through the core. So even if they're slightly in front of you, that's fine. As we warm up the shoulders, we're hoping that they'll stretch a little bit more. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, release your hands. Pause. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Come onto your fingertips. Send your heart forward. Now keep hugging your right hip back. We're not coming up into crescent yet. I want you to take your right arm, flip your palm forward. Can you bring it up alongside your hip? Send that heart forward, that nice support. Again, where we fired up, keep this left hand down, but I'm just gonna demo core. Draw the belly in. Take an inhale. Release your right hand, pause. Send the heart forward. Float to left arm. Switching sides. Broaden through the collarbone. Our shoulders are not dropping down. Send that heart towards the top of your mat. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, gently release. Drop your left knee down and switch. Right foot back, left foot forward. Whew. Open up that right hip. Hug that left hip back, squaring off the pelvis. Float the arms up. Now as you reach up, and I know it seems a bit dramatic, but I love to wrap my forearms forward. And then extend. I don't know if it's the dancer in me, but I get real dramatic with my arms. Whatever helps. I just feel like I can soften my shoulders a little bit more. Because we want to take any tension, any stress here out. Let it go. And then build heat, build fire, support through the core. And then send the tailbone down. Open up your right hip flexor. 2 more rounds. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Can you and lift a little bit more. As you exhale, gently release. Fingertips to the mat, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Now power up that back leg. Remember, just because the leg is behind you doesn't mean it's not doing anything. We want that back leg to be charged up. Hug the left hip back, come on your fingertips. Now we want to be on the fingertips because I want you using your core. Send your heart forward. You are stable, you are steady. Can you take that left arm, float it up. Breathing here, collarbones nice and broad. Now I know the legs are talking to you. Use a breath. Slow down the thoughts. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, release your left hand. Pause. Switch sides. Floating the other arm up. Broaden through the collarbones. Holding here. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, plant your palms. Now this time, press your palms into the mat. When you press the palms, yes, you do have to slightly round. But from there, you're going to lift up and shift back. Woo, spreading through those fingers. Take a nice deep inhale. Out your mouth, let it go. Inhale brings you forward. Now your choice, knees up or down, only one. We're coming all the way onto the belly. But remember, in one piece. As you exhale, lower. Spread your fingers, plant your palms, hands right next to your ribs. Inhale, begin to lift. Draw those shoulders away from the ears. Taking one more inhale here. Feel free to press back onto your knees, belly to your spine with control. Hips up and back. And lifting those shoulders away from your ears. Let the neck release. Coming onto your toes as you inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees. And a nice light step, maybe a little hop, hop. Bring it to the top. Soft bend through the knees. Now let the head release. Whew. Try not to let the shoulders just collapse. Especially for my flexible friends who are able to just fold over and hang. If you have all of this, it means we're not lifting, we're not supporting. So draw the shoulder blades away from the ears. Why not have a long neck? Hands to shins, soft bend. Inhale, halfway. Now if it's too low, you keep your hands on the shins the whole time. Or use a chair in front of you. Inhale, lift, belly to spine. Exhale, fold. Now one more here. You're going to pause halfway. Reach that heart forward. Is the belly drawn in? No. From that profile, I keep pulling my heart forward. I have a bend in my knees. Can you take your hands all the way to your hips? Whew, nothing changed. My core is heated up, on fire as you inhale. Bring it all the way up to stand. All right, tall as the top of your mat. Feel free to keep those feet hip width for now. Let's take a few vinyasas here, flowing it out. Inhale, reach. Exhale, soft bend, dive forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Let's step back for this first one. Now remember, connect your core, hug your elbows in. Even if those knees are on the mat, one piece as you lower. Inhale. Begin to lift the heart. Feel free to stay with Cobra. Shoulders are soft away from the ears. My belly's drawn in. Tuck your toes, firm your quads. Hips up and back. Take a moment, reset, pedal. Now all the hopping, and I love to hop forward, I love to hop back. Again, there's a lot of work that you need through your core. So, feel free to play with it. Have fun with it. Coming onto your toes, bend your knees, shift your hips back. Now, already from here, I'm starting to draw my belly in to engage. You want to look forward at the top of your hands. At the end of your exhale, as you spring up, I draw my belly in, and then with control, I lower the toes. I've done this for many years, so it takes practice, but that idea that lift up to bring you forward to fold as you inhale. So, the jump didn't happen the first time. Keep working on it. Inhale, arms overhead, and hands to heart. Let's go and take 2 more rounds. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dive. Surya A. Inhale, send that heart forward. Now, feel free to jump from here. Yogis like to hop from this Uttanasana, folded position. Bend the knees. Now, I always prefer, as you hop straight back, my core is engaged the whole time. I go right into bent elbow. From there, you can take the upward facing dog. Bent elbow, because we want to keep it soft in the back. We don't want to add pain. I'm going to give one more variation in this next round. So if that hopping back like that doesn't work, there's another choice. There's another option. In just a moment, we'll get there. When you're ready, come onto your toes. Bend your knees, look forward. And then from here, how much? Even if it's just a step. Something to kind of get that weight up and lift it. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, fold. Arms overhead, stand tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Now here's another option in case hopping back into plank doesn't quite work. Inhale, float. As you exhale, feel free to dive, plant your palms. Now you're gonna hop back into that same kind of like doggy squat pose that we did to hop forward. So you can bend your knees. As you exhale, feel free to pick up the hips, hop back here, and then shift forward. So it's not quite as scary. And it's just another way to kind of work through a hop into vinyasas, in and out of it at least. Take a moment, set your breath. Nice deep inhale. Out your mouth, let it go. Inhale, right leg to the sky. 3 rounds, knee to nose. And back. 2 more. Exhale, forward, belly to spine, knee to nose, and back. Now there is a slight bit of rounding that I'm doing here through my upper back. To get that nose to come forward, I'm pushing up. And then I'm going to step the foot forward. Feel free to grab the ankle. Now soft bend through the back knee. Come onto your fingertips. Setting up for crescent. As you inhale, begin to reach. And find that length here. Find that nice lift. Shoulders are soft. Tricep to wrap forward. 4 rounds to lower and lift. Take an inhale. Exhale brings you down. Inhale up. 3 more. And up. 2 more. And last one. And up. Keep that reach. Can you sink the hips just a little bit deeper? Hugging your right hip back. Draw your belly in. Gently release the arms and those palms forward. Broaden. Take an inhale. As you exhale, send that heart forward. Now, typically we'd go into a warrior 3 after this. We're not doing it now, but draw in. It's that same feeling, that same length. As you draw those shoulders away from your ears, can you pull the heart forward? Take 1 more inhale here. As you exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen your front leg towards straight. Maybe you flex that front foot. And bend. And again, inhale, lift. And bend. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen. And don't worry about that back heel touching the mat. The back heel can stay lifted for this right here. And then go ahead and press your right big toe down. Left hand to the mat. Now side on balance. You can drop the left knee, step it straight back, or option to take both legs straight for that full Balanchistasana here. Keeping that lift, drawing in through that sideways. Whoo. Now I know it's a strong pose to hit. Doing what you can, maintain your breath. Take 1 more inhale. As you exhale, release your arm. Now pause. Child's pose, down dog, maybe vinyasa. As you exhale, hug the elbows in one piece. Inhale, cobra, or upward facing dog. Shoulders are soft. As you exhale, belly to spine. Engage inner thighs, reach back, downward facing dog. Feel free to take a release. Nice deep inhale. Out your mouth, let it go. Lift the shoulder blades up away from your ears. 3 rounds. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Square the pelvis. Exhale, knee to nose.
Inhale back. 2 more. And back. And 1 more. Pausing at the top, take another inhale. As you exhale, step the foot between the hands. Now align, knee over your ankle. Come onto your fingertips. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Now soft bend through your back knee. Send the tailbone down as you inhale. That lift comes from the core. All that support to bring your torso up, to bring your torso down, to move your legs. Think of it coming from that core. So that way we're right on our legs, right on our balance. 4 rounds. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. 3 more. Inhale up. 2 more. And 1 more. And then find that nice big lift and reach, but can you sink the hips a little bit deeper? Can you charge up the back leg just a little bit more? Releasing the arms, palms face forward, broaden through your collarbones. Take an inhale, shoulders soft. As you exhale, send your heart towards the top of your mat. Hugging your left hip back. Woo. Are you holding your breath? Are you gripping your jaw? Soften. Take an inhale. Exhale. 1 more round. Inhale. As you exhale, gently release. Right palm down. Now yogi's choice. Remember our options. Right knee can come to the mat. Whew. Left foot can step back, maybe. Both legs straight. And find that nice big reach. Now we don't want the hips to hang down here, because then the obliques start to turn up and not as fired up. Lifting those hips, pressing down into that right palm, and then that broadening. 2 more rounds here. 1 more inhale. As you exhale, gently release. Pause. Take an inhale. Child's pose, down dog, or vinyasa. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Hips up and back. Deep inhale. Out your mouth, let it go. Right knee to right shoulder, 3 rounds. Inhale, float the right leg. Exhale, bring it forward. Inhale back. 2 more. And back. And 1 more. Pause, take an inhale. Exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. Go ahead and step your foot between your hands. We're setting it right up for our warrior 2. Left heel down, now align. Right heel, left big toe. As you inhale, windmill the arm. And send that left arm back. Reach your right arm forward. Press down, lift up. Draw the belly in. I'm just here for a few rounds of breath. Settle into it. Now checking. 1, we want to make sure we're not pulling forward over that front leg. Can you lift up and then slightly back? Just to get that length through the waist. Guess what? Because we want to use the core. And we're not letting the belly spill forward. Lift that belly up, send that tailbone down. Take another inhale. And exhale. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Release your arms. Now, goddess pose. We're going to turn the toes out slightly towards the side. Belly lifts up, tailbone drops down. Now, depending on your rotation, knees don't have to be flat out to the side. Again, feel free to slightly turn them more forward. Hands to heart as you exhale. Send the hips down. Now, we're trying to focus on not just pushing the hips back, and again, all of this falling forward, draw the belly in as much as you can, getting those hips underneath you. There's different ranges of mobility for our inner thighs. Some of us are a little tighter than others. That's fine. Go where you can, but I want you to breathe into it. Soften through the shoulders. 2 more rounds of breath. Exhale. Can you take your arms up and overhead? Inhale. And exhale. Can you sink a little bit deeper? 1 more round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to lift. And hands to heart. Go ahead and take your left toes. Turn them up. Right toes forward. Warrior 2. Now keep lifting to that belly. Extend the arms. Press the palms down. Right palm flips up. Reach back, reverse warrior. Soften your shoulder. Now keep lifting through the front of that body so we're supporting our lower back, that it's safe. Take 1 more inhale. As you exhale, gently release your hands forward. Now take your gaze towards the top of the mat. Pause. Take your front foot, walk it out just a little bit. Lift your back heel. Now we're going for some balance here, some balance fun. I want you to take that left leg. Don't worry about the height. We're here for just a moment. Soften. As you exhale, draw the belly in. Bring that left knee towards the nose. Now pause. right knee's bent. Our first big balance here is your core engaged, drawing in through the center. Take your gaze forward, lengthen. And as you inhale, can you continue to bring yourself all the way up to that balance? That's just here for a moment. Find that lift to the center. Taking one more inhale. Exhale, gently release. Awesome, you guys. Big toes together at the top of your mat. Soften through your shoulders. Inhale, float. Exhale, dive. Inhale, halfway. Now you can jump, you can step, you can vinyasa, you can down dog, you can child's pose. So your choice. And I'll give the other variation. Remember, our option was to bend. If you want to play with that hop, you want to lift those hips up and hop it back. From there, you can shift forward into vinyasa. And it's just another way to get a little bit more control to play with that hop. Because I know it can be scary to go straight to a plank pose. Shoulder blades lift. Take a deep inhale. Let it go. And from here, 3 rounds, left leg. Inhale. Exhale, bring it forward. And back. 2 more. Exhale, forward. And back. And 1 more. Exhale, forward. Pausing at the top. Take an inhale. And bringing your knee to your nose. Step your foot between your hands. Take your back heel. Drop it all the way down to the mat. Now back toe slightly rotated up. Hug your bum underneath your body. And then windmill. Right arm back. Left arm forward. Pressing those palms down as I adjust my hair. Usually in yoga I would say do not fidget, but it's been a long time since I've had a haircut, so I'm going to adjust just a little bit so I don't look too crazy. Inner thigh forward, tailbone down, hip bones up. Gently pressing those palms down. Find that length. Broaden. Are you lifted up out of that left waist? And on your next inhale, take your time. Extend. Whew. Now again, opening the sides, the toes, the body towards the right side of your mat goddess pose. That's what I'm going to angle a little bit more towards the screen. Slight rotation. Go ahead and send those hips down. Hands to heart. Inner thighs reaching towards the side. Now squeezing the bum, the glutes engage. Now this next round is optional. Again, a little bit more heat for the core. Take an inhale. Exhale, a little lean to the left. Inhale, center. And switch, take it right. Center. And left. And center. And right. Center. And left. 1 more round here. Center. And right. Center. Pause. Take an inhale. Can you sink a little bit deeper? Exhale. Inhale, extend. Hands to your heart. Left toes reach forward. Right toes turn up. Set up for your warrior 2. Our last round of warrior 2. Tailbone down, hip bones lift. Extend the arms, press your palms down. Flipping that front palm, lengthen and lift through that side waist. One more inhale. As you exhale, gently windmill the hands forward. Pause, looking towards the top of your mat. Now, adjust. Feel free to open up that left foot just slightly, drawing that belly in square to the pelvis. Send the heart forward. Begin to float the right leg up. We're not going to a full standing splits here. Just a little setup as we exhale, draw the knee in. Now, left knee's bent, but again, that support is coming from the core. I'm engaged. I'm drawing in as I broaden. Now, shifting your gaze forward, take your time. Inhale, brings you up to lift. Whew. Balance is tricky there. I'm aware. Drawing that belly in, soften through your shoulders. Taking 1 more inhale. And exhale, release. Take a nice deep inhale. Out your mouth, let it go. All right, yogis. We're headed right into a little yogi squat here. So I want you to step those feet a little wider than the hips width. Toes slightly rotated. Now, as we've done this before, we're going to send those hips down. I'm aware that it might be very challenging for us to get the heels all the way down to the mat. So one thing I always recommend is rolling up a mat, and then you're going to step on the lifted part for your heel. If the heels just are not making their way down at all, that is fine. You can keep the hands down on the mat. From here, just keep broadening, trying to pull the heart forward. Now we're trying to get this out of the back. We want that lift. For those of my friends that have those heels planted to the mat, broaden. Even if you need a chair in front of you, just that will help to lift and support, or even a wall. Because it's good to get this length of stretch behind the back of the calves. And it's a lot of stretch through those inner thighs. Taking one more round of breath here. And then as you exhale, take your time, releasing your hands behind your back. Whew. Shift your legs forward, come all the way down onto your hips. Now, as we work into around here of our core work, of our arms, here's where, again, if you have yoga blocks, you're like, Nicholas, of course I don't have yoga blocks. I've been quarantined and I don't teach yoga. That is fine, I understand. If you do, it's great because we're going to do a little lift. You don't necessarily need them. You can do it from the mat. It's going to be a little bit more challenging, just going to be honest with you. But that's fine. That works too. As much as you can. If the hips don't lift, they don't lift. This is where I gave the option to maybe come up onto a chair and use the chair to help lift you up too. So we're going to go ahead and take our ankles and we're going to cross them out in front of us. Now feel free to press down with your feet. And because I'm sure most of us don't have blocks, I'll do it without blocks too. Planting your palms, lift your heart, take an inhale. Now hugging those hands right next to your hips. As you exhale, can you lift your hips off the mat? Now you can even press down on your feet. And even if it's a little easier to lift down and then keep the heels in front of you, that's an option too. So adjust with those hips lifted. Take another inhale. Exhale, lower down. Now, I didn't talk too much about that before we got into it, but what I want you to think about, rather than throwing your shoulders forward to lift up here, I want you to draw your shoulders down and lift your heart. And you might even have to bring the hands back just a little bit behind you, especially depending on your arm length. If they're a little shorter, it's a little harder. Bring them back a little bit more. Try to keep the heart lifted, but then that lift comes from that lower belly. So take an inhale. As you exhale, can you press up to lift? Taking one more inhale here. Exhale, gently lower. Now, if you are seated on the floor, take your legs, bring them out in front of you. And feel free to use those heels, press them down. Take an inhale. As you exhale, take your time, lifting your hips up. Now pause. If this feels all right, can you take one foot? Lift it up, drawing that belly in. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, lower right foot. Can you stay lifted? Can you take the left foot? Taking another breath here, inhale. If available, just for fun, can you take both feet off? One more inhale. And exhale, releasing those hips down. As you got both feet up. Awesome. It is hard. It took me years. Nice work. Before we make it into our last final balance, go ahead and bring those legs out in front of you. Now, the charge of the core. Through this boat pose, you can always have the hands at the thighs. You can bring the hands behind you because we are going to lower and lift 5 rounds. So broaden through those collarbones, drawing that belly in. Take an inhale. If available, reach the arms forward. Exhale, lower. Halfway. Inhale up. And 4 more. And up. And 3. And up, and 2. Now this last one, we're gonna hold down at the bottom. Woo! Bring your knees towards your chest. Now you can take your hands behind your head, or keep the arms reaching forward. Can you take your right leg up to the sky? Right leg lowers and lifts 5 times. Take an inhale, exhale, inhale up, and 4, and up, and 3, and up, and 2, and up, and 1, and go ahead and bend your knees, tabletop, belly drawn towards that spine, shoulders soft, left leg, 5 rounds, this is it. Lower, and lift, and 4, inhale up, and 3, and up, and 2, and up, last one, and up, and bend, pause, find that lift, take one more inhale, exhale, whoo, lower the head, a little rock side to side. Now, this transition is up to you. You can take it through the vinyasa, you can roll to the side, take it straight to a down dog. Here's part of why we were doing the lift on the hands, working towards ultimately getting some of those arm balance ideas in. But from here, you can rock forward and back again as many times as you like. You can shift those hands forward, and this is where that pickup comes in to shift back. Now again, it takes practice, it takes time, but feel free to have fun with it. Go for it. Otherwise, just step back. Good old downward facing dog. Go where it works for you. All right, our final round to balance. Go and take that right leg folded up. Exhale, knee to nose. Stepping your foot between your hands. Now, as we did earlier, I always like to talk about it this way. It's from that core work. So remember we had those arms floating up along the hips. It's that same thing, all that support that we've been trying to work towards. As you broaden through the collarbones, take an inhale. As you exhale, shifting forward. Now, all that support from the center, And then this back leg, it's not dead weight, it's not just hanging there. Extend out the back leg. Soft bend through the right knee as much as you need. Hands to heart, arms forward, wherever it works best for you. Take another inhale. And exhale. One more round of breath here, inhale. And as you exhale, carefully step it back. Pause. Now take a moment, bend that front knee. Bring both hands to the inside of your right foot. Now I want to keep this back knee lifted for now because I want to keep this heat, this fire, and I want that belly to draw in. So some of us might stay here. Hug the knee in towards your shoulder. If available, feel free to bring those elbows down towards the mat. Now you might get a little bit deeper stretch into the hips here, but again, we're not just kind of hanging and releasing. I want you to stay charged up, power through, because we're still not done with our balances. We still have one more side. Breathing here, take another inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Now if you're on your forearms, take your time. Slowly walk your hands up, pause. From here, step right back. Child's pose, down dog, or vinyasa. Inhale, find the lip. As you exhale, hips up and back. Deep inhale. Let it go. Inhale, float your left leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Step your foot between your hands. Now pause here. Come onto your fingertips. Broaden, hug the left hip back. Charge your back leg, and then your core, as the arms lift, not a whole lot should change. It should have already been turned on. Fire through that center. Take an inhale. Exhale, begin to shift forward. Pause, hugging the left hip back. Soften that right hip, draw the ribs in. I love to poke my ribs out. Now you take your arms where it works for you. Soft bend through that left knee. Do what you need. One more inhale here. And taking your time as you exhale, gently release your hands. Step your right foot back. Awesome. That was the last of the balances. Go ahead and bring either hands right flat onto the mat or release your forearms. Now that back thigh is still lifted, back knee still lifted because we're trying to get that heart to reach forward. We're trying to that broadening and the support through the core. 2 more rounds of breath here. 1 more. And your last round here, either into your last vinyasa, child's pose, down dog, you decide. As you exhale, shift up and back. Deep inhale. Let it go. Step, hop, jump, however you'd like to. Again, as you bend, if you're going for that hop, sliding those hips underneath you and reaching those legs forward. All right, I'm gonna turn sideways. You can keep facing forward, but we're gonna extend those legs out. Now, most important thing here, actually let me get more profile. So, as we reach the heels out to the side, we tend to have tight hips, tight back, so that's normal for us. So what usually happens here is we'll sink down into this position. And then we try to fold forward. That doesn't quite work because we're not stretching anything that we actually want to be. So what I want you to do, take your hands behind you, especially if you feel that. Lift up. From here, lift up. Now, toes are not falling forward. Your inner thighs are lifted up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. And then you're wrapping the outer thigh down. Now, as we hold here, if you take your hands and your pelvis didn't sink back, then you can bring the hands in front of you. But if you move the hands and you started to sink back, then I want you to keep your hands behind you and then use your hands to push you forward. If you know that the hips are a little bit more open and you're able to bring the weight forward, then go and bring your hands out in front of you. Now pause, there's no rush. Inner thighs are reaching up, take your time. Now the thighs are not falling forward, so keep those inner thighs reaching up as much as you can. As you exhale, take your time. You might come onto the hands, try not to lead with the shoulders, with the chin. Pull that heart forward, broaden. Taking 2 more rounds of breath here. Go where you can. Taking one more inhale. And exhale. And as you inhale, take your time, slowly walking your hands up. Ooh. And then go ahead and bend your left knee. If you're turned side, and go ahead and bring it back in front. Now, just a little bit more hip opener here, just to get into that double pigeon. Bring your left shin forward. Go ahead and stack your right shin on top. Oh, tight hips. Now, don't stickle this foot. Reach through that inner ankle. Either right shin on top. If that's too much, then cross the shin in front for Sukhasana. Now, kind of same idea here. I just thought of it as I was sitting there. You want to make sure you can lift up as tall as you can. So even if you're here and there is all this tightness going on, that's fine. You're getting a stretch. If you can feel it, that's good. Just no pain in the knees. You can stay here. It's only for yogis that feel like, all right, the hips are starting to open. Then you take the hands forward. Otherwise, feel free to keep those hands back. Settling into your double pigeon. Taking just a couple more rounds of breath here. And your next inhale, take your time, slowly begin to lift. And from there, go ahead and switch. Whatever shin you have on top, go and bring it on the bottom. Now, if you're stacking the shins, you want to try to get that bottom shin to be parallel with the top of your mat. And then your top shin matches that. So they're not hugging in towards you. It's literally like they're just stacked right on top of each other. Now, taking a moment, sit tall. We're trying to get out of the lower back, find that lift. Shoulders soft, drawing in. As you exhale, take that reach. And go where it works for you without tensing through your jaw, through your face, into your shoulders, because they're not stretching. So we don't want to tense them, we want to soften them. And on your next inhale, taking your time, slowly lift. And go ahead and swing those legs out in front of you for one last forward fold. Take the skin of your bum gently, lift it up. And then go and put your arms up and overhead, wrap those triceps forward. Drawing the belly in as you lift. Exhale, reach wherever you grab, whether it's the feet, whether it's the mat. Take a nice little inhale, soften. Exhale, pull. And same thing here. No tension through the shoulders, through the jaw, through your neck. One more round of breath. As you inhale, begin to lift. And then go ahead and bend your knees. Taking your time, go and roll all the way onto your back. Now, we really didn't get a whole lot of twisting in today, so feel free. If you're ready to settle into a Shavasana, you're more than welcome. We finished in that neutral. Because today wasn't a very big twisting day, if it feels good for you and you want to press that right shoulder to the mat, bring that left knee across, go for it. Take another inhale. And exhale. Inhale brings you back to center. And go ahead and switch, hugging the right knee in, bring the left knee in, and extend. And as you exhale, take it across your body. Ooh. Then pressing your left shoulder down towards the mat. And inhale, brings your left knee in. Pause, hugging your right knee. Take an inhale. As you exhale, float your head up, pausing at the top for a breath. And as you exhale, gently extend, release, sending those legs forward. And take a moment. Can you gently draw the shoulder blades together just a bit more? Feel free to cover your body, cover your face. Take an inhale. Exhale, gentle sigh. And let your body settle into Shavasana. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bringing movement back to your fingers and your toes. And taking your arms over your head, take a long stretch through your body. And bending your knees when you're ready, begin to roll to your side. Take an inhale. Exhale, begin to lift yourself up. Feel free making your way back to a seated position, crossing at your shins. And your choice, hands on thighs, hands at heart. I'm just settling for a moment here. Absorbing the work, the effort of your practice. And again, just honoring how your body feels, what's going through your mind. And even if it isn't always positive, if it's more challenging to stay in this light, like that good energy, we all have the ups and downs, always coming back to breath, allowing things to settle as best as you can. And knowing that we're human, we can only do as much as we can, and it's all right, we're not perfect. Closing with 3 deep breaths. Take a nice deep inhale. And release. 2 more deep breaths in. And release. 1 more deep breath in. And release. Sealing in all your practice, your work, your effort, your focus. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for joining me this Friday morning. I hope you had a good practice. Keeping all that energy, all that light for the rest of your day, through your weekend. Drink lots of water. And then do it all again Monday at 3:30 p.m. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. If you happen to be doing any adventures this weekend, have fun, be safe. See y'all later.